Good morning, good afternoon, a very good evening to all our beloved listeners. Well, today we have got a lovely guest with us, Carmel Scaringi. Meet this wonderful lady who is a radiant soul whose grounded spiritual journey has transformed lives, including her own, from overcoming the childhood challenges to building successful businesses. She is she has mastered an array of healing arts from Reiki to Hupon Opo. At 50, she boldly earned her diploma in life coaching, providing it's never too late to follow her passion. Get ready for an inspiring conversation with a true beacon of self discovery. So, once again, a very warm welcome to you, Carmen. Thank you so much for being with us. And before I say anything, my listener would love to know a little bit more about you from you. Platform is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dinesh, for that generous introduction. It was lovely. Thank you. Dinesh, we really don't know what our upbringing, the people around us, the effects that it has on us. And it's up to us as we move on in life to question these things. So I was brought up very restricted and with the European background, and so I was not encouraged to question. So we did as we were told, and even to the point where, just a funny story is, when I got married, the day after, my husband said, "We'll go out to Chinese tonight," and I looked at him and I said, "Are we allowed to?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Don't we have to ask permission from our parents?" He looked at me and he said, "You won't ever have to ask permission again." And now we laugh about it because that was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. But so, as I said, we do not know. And it's important for us as we move on in life to question things, because the people around us have showed us what to do according to their beliefs. So thank
good
you.
that you said something about you. Well, the sharing that you are showing to our all listeners would be more effective if you can blind them with the your answers, because here are few of the questions that our listeners have recommended to ask you. Here is the first question which I request you to reply, and that is, Kame, your journey from the childhood where just now you said you were questioning was not encouraged to become a beacon of self-discovery is so inspiring. What was the pivotal moment that ignited your passion for exploring spiritual and personal growth? What would you reply? Comment, please.
That's easy. I was 30. My husband and I had just purchased a business. It was a gourmet takeaway, running it for a few months when my father passed away very suddenly. My world was just turned upside down. So that was the time, and because we had a big mortgage and we had a business to run, and people don't come to hear your grief. They come to get food. They come to have sustenance. And so I had to find ways of dealing with my pain while running and growing the business. And I did that by, we didn't have Google and internet then, so I read a lot. Anytime I had 5 minutes, I would read books on health, wellness, spirituality, the mind, afterlife, everything I could. And then when the emotions got so strong that I couldn't hold back, I would get an onion, I would cut up an onion. So all our customers thought I was allergic to onions because the tears would pour down. But it got me through. We laughed. It got me through. So it's about finding ways of dealing with challenges so you can move through to do what has to be done. So that's when it was.
Great. Yes, you reminded me about the people of one of the countries who were doing the same thing when they were tortured, or then when they were punished, or they were in the grief. So you are right. It
Mm,
works. It works very good. Well, Kame, here is my next question.
okay.
That Kame, you have built successful business while diving deep into the practice like Ho'oponopono and Reiki. How do you blend that grounded entrepreneurial spirit with your spiritual wisdom to help others? How do you do that?
Um, Dinesh, firstly, it's when I did my training, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I became. It wasn't something I did. I would integrate it. It's who we become. It's in here, not out there. So putting that energy into everything, like in our food business, while we were in it, it was hard work, but it was about putting the love into the food. People would drive for miles to come and buy their lunch and their breakfast from us because
Mm-hmm.
even though we were going through a recession, they would come to us because we it was important to us to have value for money, freshness, and love in the food. And then, later on, when I was doing my healing practices and putting the attention into people, people come and give their money. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to give them the best value that I can for their money. And when we opened our bed and breakfast, again, people said, "Who's going to come to Croydon North?" I said, "I don't know." It's about integrating the learnings of the modalities and putting it into everything we do. So our bed and breakfast was open for 8 years, 75% occupancy rate throughout the whole thing. So hopefully I've answered that question.
Yes, you are right. Well, my father too had a small business, and he used to say that customers are the God.
Mm,
Instead of going to worship them somewhere else, it is better you worship them in your shop. I truly remember that.
beautiful,
Yes, you are right.
beautiful, wise words.
Yeah. Well,
Mm,
Kame, your work with the diet process and the consciousness of truth, it really sounds absolutely fascinating. Can you share a heartwarming story of how these practices transformed someone's life or even your own life? First, please give an example of someone's life, how it helped someone else, and then we will come to your example. Please.
okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dinesh. Before I share the story,
Hmm.
perhaps if I could say that this was one of the most powerful processes that I did that helped me personally. But just to share with you, one day when we were doing this process, and it's two people facing one another speaking, one speaks for 5 minutes and the other one listens, and then it's reversed. Well, two people, one had a Hindi background, the other one had a French background, and they decided to do this process in their mother tongue. So they spoke their own language and the other one listened. At the end of the 40 minutes, they were able to share with one another in English what they felt the other one had said. And I was witnessing this, and it was just magical that they hit right on the mark, even though the Hindi person didn't understand French, even though the French person didn't understand Hindi, they could explain to one another what the other had said. So being heard in life, being listened to with our emotions, even if we don't fully understand, but being fully present and heard is so very powerful. And that's, and as for me, you're looking at someone who I would get diarrhea if I had to go somewhere new. I couldn't talk to anybody that was superior to me. And believe me, everybody was superior to me. It's like if somebody was a teacher, I couldn't talk. My throat would close up. I couldn't talk. Doing this podcast with you would have been no way. No way. I wouldn't have been able to do that. And this process helped me personally to grow and expand.
Oh, great. Yes. Well, as you said that this process has helped you, this process has helped others too. Well, can you please give a little more detail of this process, that how it works?
Yes, I can. It's this particular one is it could be a group of people or two people facing one another, and one asks a question of, tell me what life is, and then they are silent and the other person explains to them what they feel life is, and they speak for 5 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, they're thanked and it's reversed. So this goes on for 40 minutes. So each person gets a chance to speak for 4 rounds. And you just go deeper and deeper, because after the mundane things, you have to look deeper within. What is life to you? What is life? And so it helps you connect with things that are important that perhaps, we don't know that are important, because we're so busy with the external life and with things happening. And I apologize, I speak with my hands. That's the Italian in me. So yeah, it's hopefully I've explained that, and it helps you go deeper and helps you with a stronger connection to yourself. So then you've got a stronger connection to someone else.
Very correct. And as you said that when two persons are talking, one will be talking for 5 minutes, another will be talking for 5 minutes, and they will interchange. If I have understood correctly, that perhaps the answer, my question's answer lies within me only, unless and until it is shown by someone else. And as you said rightly, that when someone asks, one has to come out again. Perhaps I can see my reply only when I come out with my question. So perhaps this might be helping. So do you suggest or advise someone that before going to someone for asking for the help, why don't you ask yourself first and find out where you stand, and then you come out with your questions? That will be more helpful. What do you say?
I love that, Dinesh, because that's exactly what I say to people. This is what I do for myself. So I encourage others. Say, sit in silence for a little and ask, I've got this issue. Can I deal with this myself? Can I address it myself? And if the feeling is yes, or the inner response is yes, you go ahead, because you will be shown the way. But if not, then you seek external assistance. And so that was very powerful. It is. It's because I think it's too many people want to take, the responsibility of assisting, whereas we can assist ourselves. But there are times where we need a doctor, we need a surgeon, we need a practitioner for Reiki, consciousness, a coach, whatever it may be, you know, and then we assist one another. But it's important that we empower ourselves to know that we too have the power.
Right. Yes. We need assistant, we need helper, we need outside force, we need
Yes.
outside guidance. Yes, definitely. Yes, very correct. But I fully agree with you. Well, I'm surprised to know, Kame, that going back to study, that too at 50, to earn your diploma in life coaching, it must have been such an empowering leap. What advice would you give to someone hesitate to chase a dream, especially later in life? What would you say, and how you did help them or guide them?
Um, it's important that
Hmm?
we follow, that we do things. It's never going to be perfect. We're never going to be perfect. It's never going to be the right time. It's important that when we feel the internal impetus, that we start to get the thoughts, oh, it'd be good to do this, or it'd be great to try that, then that's when the energy is starting to surface for us to attempt something new. And if we keep putting it off, and I say to people, be you, whatever it is that you would like to experience in life, because life is short. We just recently lost a member of our yoga and Tai Chi
Hmm.
class, and it was devastating. I only knew her for 2 years, but it was devastating. We don't know when it's our time to go. So
Correct.
it's important for people to do the things that they love to do when they love to do them. Perhaps I can share a brief story. Is many years ago, I'd say to my husband, I'd love to visit Italy to see where you were born, where my parents were born. He'd say, yes, one day we'll do that. And this went on for a few years. And then my ex-sister-in-law's uncle was here from Sicily. And he said, I've got a restaurant in Sicily. And he said, you should come over and work for me, and then you can travel. And I said, oh, my God, that would be amazing. So I told Mario, and he said, yep, one day we'll do that. In that moment, I realized if it was going to be, it was up to me. So as soon as the new year was over, I was back at work. I went to our travel agent. I said, Philip, I said, what can we do? We're going to be working in Sicily for a few months. And then what else can we do? And he said, well, you could go here, you could do this. And so I'd come home every couple of days and have a brochure. And I'd say to my husband, one day when we go to overseas, wouldn't it be nice to do this? And he'd say, yes. And
Great.
so I did this for a few weeks. I was planting seeds. I did it for a few weeks. And then after 2 weeks, I said, that's it. We're going overseas. And we're going for 12 months. He said, what? He said, our bank account is empty. We've just renovated our house. Where are you coming from? I said, where's the problem? I said, you've got a job. I've got a job. We'll work, and we're going. So this was towards the end of January. He worked long hours. I had 3 jobs. We saved every penny, little notes on the kitchen table. Early May of that year, we were off for 12 months, and we worked and traveled. If we had not have done it then, we would never have done it. So, we didn't allow things to be an issue. Sure, there was no money there, but we were capable of earning it and saving, and we did. And while we were away, we were working anyway. So we can always find obstacles. If you want something enough, we will overcome them and just see the goal, the end, the end desire.
Wow. You took me to your Sicily.
It was
Great.
wonderful.
Great. So I remember one of my friend who said that once I had been to the border, and then I wanted to see the opposite side of the border, but I had no time at the time. And then More than 40 years have passed, I couldn't go again. So once you decide and if you implement, then only you can do. Otherwise, it's very difficult to chase your dream. Yes,
Yes.
and I'm so happy that at least you could do it and you did it. Lovely.
Mm.
Wow, great. So, as you have done it, and I too have many friends who almost are all the senior citizens. So, what would you like to give them advice, especially coming out of their house, going to some other places, finding out some new other opportunities, daring to do something different, whatever it may be? What would be your advice? What do you say, Kame?
Gosh, we I met a lady on Zoom just a few days ago, and
Mm-hmm.
she said, Carmel, she said, I don't want my children to die. She said, but I'm not afraid of them dying. She said, what I'm afraid of is that they won't live. And I thought, that gave me goosebumps from head to toe. There are so many people. Let me ask a question. Where do you think the richest place on earth is, Dinesh? I'm asking this question. Where do you feel the richest place on earth is?
No idea.
The cemeteries. That's where all the
Oh,
recipes, all the
right, right,
undanced
right.
dance, all the unwritten books, all the unplayed games, all the undesigned designs, that's where it's all buried. And when you said to me, Carmel, I'd like you to do a podcast, and I said, oh, I don't know. And you said to me, you can't take your knowledge with you. You
Correct.
can't take your wisdom with you. And it just reminded me of that. And I thought, oh my God, you knew how to get to me. And I thought, I'll have to allow that to give me the strength to overcome my fears of doing this. And that's what I did. So I tell people, even the little things are important. Visiting someone, if you're not well, ringing someone to come over, and always look for things to be grateful for, because life can be difficult, life can be
Correct.
challenging, but we can always find that little bit of sunshine, that little ray, if we look deep enough or we explore enough. So, because too many people, they finish work and they've worked hard, they've earned their money, and it's time to enjoy, but they don't know what to do because they've been focused on work, family, work, and then all of a sudden, family's gone, work's gone, and they're empty. So it's important to, you know, connect with a few people. You might not feel confident on your own, but as 2 or 3 people, as a group, it gives you more confidence.
Yes, very correct. Very correct. The people, most of the people, yes, they work for themselves, make money, help family, and once the family is gone, work is gone, they are left alone. What to do? What to do? What to do? And they are in real soup. You are
Mm,
very correct. Yes, yes,
mm,
yes. And through our this platform, I would love to share your wisdom and the advice that you have given to all the listeners, that yes, here it is, the time is now, you should act, you should come out of your comfort zone. And I'm really very happy, I feel honored that you agreed to take my advice, and you came out of your fears comfort zone and did wonderful things, and today you are here to share your wisdom with others. Well, Kamal, there are hundreds of questions that we have got from our listeners, but before I time do not permit me, so let me change this session in a different way. I'll be asking you short questions and request you to answer them in the shortest possible way.
mm-hmm.
So please try to give answer in the short possible way. And here is the first question, and the impossible is the quickest time. Here is the first question for you, that what would you prefer, whether it's Reiki or Hoponopono?
Gosh, it's who they help me become.
Great.
It's
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's who they help me become. There isn't one. It's just being present to myself, to another. So I don't have a preference.
Okay. Okay. And here is my next question. What's the one essential oil that you can't live without? Which one you would like to prefer?
Essential oil.
Hmm.
Probably frankincense. I love
Hmm.
many, but I'd say
Oh,
frankincense.
boy.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I tried with lavender, and it worked very nice for me. Beautiful. Well, next one is that if you could have a heart to heart with your younger self, what would you say, Kame?
Gosh, I'd say I'm sorry that I allowed my adult self to get in the way and I didn't listen to the more of the intuitive hunches, to play
Very
more
correct.
to
Yes.
yes.
I'm sure that all young generation must be listening to you. Would you please repeat your answer once again? The question is, if you could have a heart to heart with yourself, what would you say? Kame, please.
I'd say I am sorry that I allowed my adult self to get in the way and I didn't listen to the intuitive hunches, those little voices coming from deep inside that prompted me forwards to have a bit more fun or do something different. I did it, but I could have done it even more.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. My the next question is for you. What is the favorite place to meditate, whether it's nature, home, or somewhere else?
I've meditated in many, many places, but I think
Mm-hmm.
if I have a preference, it'd probably be home.
Mm-hmm. Very right. And we also advise that preferably you stick to one place, one time, and if possible, one position. Very
Yes,
correct. Wow.
yes.
Well, next question is, what's the most unexpected lesson you learned from running your own business? What was that?
Okay. The most unexpected lesson is give people what they want and then slowly educate them on what you want them to know, on expansion. But first, give them what they want.
Very right. Yes. Because always a customer comes with their own thinking and their own rigid thoughts. So,
Yes,
if possible, give them what they want. Yes, very nice.
yes.
Well, the next question is for you, the massage therapy or the life coaching, which feels more like your superpower? Which is that?
Um, I think my superpower is helping people find the missing piece of the puzzle.
Right.
The
Yes.
missing piece of the puzzle. So it's whatever modality it takes. When I was doing a lot of it, it was whatever modality it takes to help people find that missing piece of the puzzle, to empower them, to for their inner light to shine, for them to realize that they are powerful.
They are powerful. Yes, they are
Yeah.
powerful. And that they will realize only when you, as a coach, you feel power from within. Yes, and that you are a powerful person. Yes, you are. Well, Kamne, would you like to give one word to describe your spiritual journey? What is that?
My spiritual journey, freedom. Freedom.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. It may be freedom from work, freedom from world, or freedom for any other things. Yes, freedom.
Freedom from my inner prison. I
Ah,
didn't
superb,
I
superb.
didn't realize I
Lovely.
didn't realize I was in a prison
Hmm.
until
Hmm.
I had the freedom to see clearly.
Ah, freedom from my inner prison. Yes. And what would the one song that instantly lifts your spirit? What is that?
What comes to mind immediately is I Am Woman by Helen Reddy.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Would you like to sing it?
No, that's not one of my talents.
Okay, 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 okay. Carmen, if you could teach world one spiritual practice, according to you, what it would be?
Learn gratitude.
Ah, I fully
Learn
agree with you.
gratitude.
Yes.
There's there's always there's always, you know, two sides to everything. And when we take the time, for example, this my little diary, if
Mm-hmm.
I just see this, then that's all I'm blinkered to see. Whereas if I cut every page to the end,
Mm-hmm.
I've only got one page left, but there's still two sides.
Ah.
So there's two sides to everything. And when we learn gratitude, it
Hmm.
helps us be more open, more receptive to seeing another side.
Very right, very right. Yes, that is the first step. Gratitude is the first step to see the other side of the coin, other side of the situation, other side of the life. Yes. Well,
Mm.
I have got few more questions to ask, but the time do not permit me. Fortunately or unfortunately, your each and every answers were so lucid and so interesting, educational, motivational that I am really thinking that wish I could have talked to you before to get something more from you. Anyway, on behalf of this platform, we truly pray Almighty God to give you all power, support, wisdom, money, time, and every facility so that the work that you are carrying and you are doing, please keep on doing. And if time permits, please do spare some time for our platform so that we can spread the wisdom that you have to the world. World is waiting for your information, your help, your support, your guidance. Yes, because you are the one who is experienced. Yes, they are
Thank you.
waiting. Yeah.
Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you
So we
so
say
much.
namaste to you. May God bless you. So nice of you.
Namaste.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.